where we are announcing a very exciting collaboration. My name is Saurav Sen. I'm from Vigyan Prasar, Department of Science and Technology. And I'm also accompanied here by the leadership team of the Atal Innovation Mission of Niti Aayog. The two organizations are today going to announce a collaboration between two unique initiatives, the Atal Tinkering Lab from the Atal Innovation Mission, and Engage with Science, which is an interactivity platform that has been started with India Science, the Science OTT channel from Vigyan Prasar, Department of Science and Technology. I would request Deepali, who's just joined in, to start off by introducing the topic today, please. Deepali.
Innovation Mission. With this collaboration, we intend to achieve a lot of synergies by amplifying each other's strengths towards STEM education in India. Vigyan Prasar, with its initiative, will be a very good interactive platform for ATL students, and not just for ATL students, but for students across. But ATL will give a good leeway into exploring this as a platform, participate in quizzes, activities, events, and with Atal Innovation Mission, and it's spread across more than 9,200 schools, towards inculcating innovation or entrepreneurship skills among students, and do it in the most engaging way possible, which we hope to do with this collaboration. We have with us our mission director, Dr. Chintan Vaishnav, and we also have director from Vigyan Prasar, Dr. Parashar.
Okay, I think Deepali, your data connectivity is not too good right now. So with everybody's permission, if I can start off the proceedings for today. We have a very, very strong base of Atal Tinkering Labs across 9,200 schools across the country. And it has been a raging hit among students based on what we have interacted with more than 10,000 schools in the last 1 year that we have brought on board Engage with Science. The whole idea behind Engage with Science was that, there is no dearth of content. There is no dearth of content available on STEM education, but the real challenge was to make it feel interesting for students and teachers alike. And that is why we tried to bring in some innovative thinking on what could motivate students and teachers better and what could increase STEM education and STEM content consumption levels rather than just pushing STEM content down students' throat. That was the whole idea. So I think it was a perfect fit between Atal Tinkering Labs, which has created a marvelous infrastructure of equipment and know-how among schools across the country. And we are just going to leverage that through our activities and the gamification-based systems that we have tried to set up. I'll just play a short promo for Engage with Science, which will give a brief idea about what it is, and then we will take it forward.
Engage with Science, or EWS, is an interactivity platform with a difference. It enables students and teachers to explore and experience the fascinating world of science and mathematics in an interactive way across the length and breadth of India. It supplements and enriches traditional teaching techniques with science and technology video content from India Science and a range of Engage with Science activities. EWS is a collaboration between Vigyan Prasar, an autonomous organization of the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, and the global technology company IBM.
For students of schools from classes 6 to 10 and above, it's important for all of us to create an interest in science and technology within them. And for that matter, Engage with Science, which is our platform that helps students create the required interest into these subjects, has been successful on the basis of various interesting techniques that we have employed. For example, gamification, for example, a lot of films that we produce at India Science, India's only S&T channel.
For students, EWS is an enriching, immersive, and empowering experience, bringing alive the world of science to spark their interest in STEM subjects, which in turn are reinventing and driving careers of the future. For teachers and schools, EWS works as a catalyst to provide video science content and, importantly, provides teachers with the opportunity for upskilling in smart teaching techniques and the latest educational content. Other forums for teachers on EWS include Engage Guru and Engage Idol to inspire and honor them.
It was an honor for IBM to be invited to be a partner in this wonderful forward-looking initiative called Engage with Science, and that too with the Department of Science and Technology and Vigyan Prasar. It was a perfect play with the government, industry, and academia coming together to forward science and STEM education across the country. STEM education is very close to IBM's heart, and with our various education and skilling initiatives across the world, and just in India, we reach out to over 900,000 learners. And when this opportunity to partner came up, we were absolutely delighted to be a part of this initiative. If we have to realize our dream of becoming a $5 trillion economy by 2025, science plays a very, very important role in it. 80% of the jobs of the future are going to be STEM related, and Engage with Science is going to act as a catalyst which will lead India's future generation into a world of creativity, innovation, and economic growth and prosperity. Wishing you all the best.
For maximum impact, Engage with Science follows a multi-pronged strategy to work in partnership with principals, teachers, and students, along with key stakeholders like educational boards, the government's education institutions like CBSE, and educational experts. EWS is a unique endeavor that deploys gamification tools and virtual incentivization techniques to keep them engaged during classes. EWS is perennial and immersive. It seeks to create a healthy competitive spirit that works to inspire students to realize their full potential through programs like Chapter Therapy, Buddy Mentor, and Engage Spark. No one loses, no one gets eliminated. The goosebumps of success and excitement stay with every student and teacher who come on board.
Engage with Science. Learning science was never so much fun.
So that was the promo about Engage with Science, which gave a encapsulated idea about what the program is all about. And imagine a situation where we are able to leverage the infrastructure that has been set up by Atal Innovation Mission across 9,200 schools and what it can mean in terms of activity and motivation for students and teachers, which is exactly what we are here to sign up. I would now like to invite Dr. Chintan Vaishnav, Mission Director of AIM, to please speak a few words.
Thank you very much. And this is indeed an exciting day for all of us at AIM. We've been really looking forward to this launch with Vigyan Prasar. I'd like to share with everyone in the audience why we think this is a very major step for something something big to follow. Atal Tinkering Labs, as was mentioned, there are 9,200 of them. We are expected to reach 10,000 of them. And in many schools, there is tremendous excitement about them as it allows students to bring out what may be in their head in the form of an artifact, to make such a thing. As I travel across schools, I am realizing that it is adding an important sort of fundamental dimension that was not there before. In that, most of the times when we consume things, be it a chair or table, whatever, you take any artifact. Your perspective is not that of somebody who has to make it. You are always consuming products. But with the introduction of the Tinkering Lab, you do see students discussing how is it that I can make this thing that I am using. That's a fundamentally different way of thinking about something, And so today, I think today's program, its excitement, one might say, I was trying to think before this today's session as to how would one communicate the vision of this partnership. So imagine a few years from now, let's say 2 years from now, alongside science textbooks, we have a compendium of experiments, maker's experiments. And I'll give you an example of it in a moment. A maker's experiment that you can use to learn concepts in science. So far what we've done is we've been learning science through theory. We've been learning science through experiments. Now imagine a third dimension, which is learning science through making. So I'll give you a real example from one of the Atal Tinkering Labs in Jharkhand. Here, students came together, high school students. They came together to brainstorm problems in their environment. This is how every year we start the Atal Tinkering Marathons. And as they listed the problems, the top rated problem that people voted for was this problem that their school happened to be on a very, very noisy street. So they thought that's the problem they should take on. And then fast forward to the solution that they came up with. They came up with the solution where there was a piezoelectric-like device that captured the vibrations, the vibrations from the noise on the street, converted it into an electrical signal to charge a battery and a little LED bulb, right? So quite interesting at multiple levels. I mean, first, they have turned what seemed like a problem into an opportunity. Second, they have now begun to think about how much noise is needed in order to light a light bulb, right? And it turns out that you need a lot of noise. Even if you had a 1-watt bulb, you would need a 65 decibel noise continuously for a whole hour. That's a lot of noise. So obviously they realize that mathematics of this solution doesn't add up, right? I mean, this is not a solution you would use in your homes or anything like that. But even to come to that realization, you said, okay, what is the efficiency of how much noise is there? Let me measure it. How efficient is the piezoelectric? Let me measure that. How lossy is the cable, the wire that connects to the battery? How efficient is the battery? All of these questions, which would not have surfaced, have now surfaced. And then, of course, one can ask that, well, we have been, so if we really want to differentiate how experiment differentiates itself from an experiment where you have capability to make. In a normal experiment, you would have done this setup, and many science festivals always have the piezoelectric based electricity generation. So you would have done the setup and you would have lit the light bulb, end of story, right? Now, because you are making it, you can modify the experiment. So you can iterate. So this is not a static experiment one time and done. This is a dynamic experiment. So this is really fascinatingly important and deep for learning science. Is what, when I read about this example, I thought this was really fascinating. Because if you sort of step back and ask a question, that why do students of Nobel Prize winners go on to win Nobel Prizes? One answer to that question is that, see, the problem at hand or the science remains the same, right? It doesn't change. It's the same science worldwide. But somebody who leads a fundamental inquiry ends up viewing the same problem from a different perspective than rest of the world. That's what happens. Same problem viewed from a different angle. And what making allows you to do, as I was giving the previous, I was saying in the example, it allows you to inquire about the same problem from different angles. And from one such angle may appear some insight that would not have otherwise appeared. So this is really a big, major dimension we are adding, this coming together of Prasar Bharati and, my bad, Vigyan Prasar and Atal Innovation Mission. We're adding a very important dimension to learning of science by utilizing the two major infrastructures, or if I could call them operating systems, coming together and enabling many people to add making to their experimentation journeys. Also, I'd like to say that I'm very excited also because Atal Tinkering Labs, as many people may know, 70% of these labs are in government schools in rural areas, and 96% of these labs are in co-ed schools, so boys and girls both. So I think we both, in terms of sort of rural areas and gender, I think this can provide great access. And another last and final item, there are several dimensions along which we plan to experiment in terms of sort of demonstrating live challenges, engaging in master classes, sort of chapter therapy videos, as was discussed earlier, teachers conclave and meeting the guru, etc. And of course, meeting the one and only Sharman Joshi. So I think this is a very comprehensive agenda, and I really hope that it will chart a future where no scientific concept remains inaccessible to any student. So with that, my best wishes and looking forward to working together.
Saurabh.
Thank you, Saurabh.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. Nakul Parashar, Director Vigyan Prasar, to please address us and talk about this collaboration.
Namaste. A very warm good afternoon to one and all, and very delighted to meet with you, Dr. Vaishnav, and as you rightly said, one and only one, our dearest and most popular Sharmanji. It's great to be here again, and it gives me an immense pleasure to be a part of this collaboration between AIM and Vigyan Prasar. I'm delighted to hear from Dr. Vaishnav that he brings to the board a lot of new things, new thoughts, new ideas, and how we need to take them forward. The third dimension that you talked about was something which we would be very happy and glad to get associated with, particularly in getting that compendium ready. For over last 32 years, Vigyan Prasar has been working in the area of science communication, popularization, and its extension. And when we talk about this, uh, it covers the entire strata of the society. It's just not for school students, it's for everyone, a person on a street, a farmer in the field, a teacher in class, a student, a housewife at home, everyone. And in this course, particularly for students like 9,200 schools that you've spoken about, with an aspiration to touch the 10,000 mark very soon, we would be glad to work and get associated with you in whichever format that you think we could be of help. For past 32 years, as I said, Vigyan Prasar has created more than 300 titles in print, all original written books meant for everybody about science, technology, and how science can be made interesting, how science could be something which normally is conceived as dry and drab in our country. And this is why our only OTT channel, which is called India Science, which has produced, I guess, a critical mass now to run a 24 by 7 channel of its own. So we've produced more than 3,209 films so far in a period of about 2 years and 8 months, which gives an average about 90 films being made on an average, I guess, somewhere trying to compete with the Bollywood numbers. Anyway, so this is just a start, and in this course there's a lot of content that we have created over a period of time, a very interesting concept, a very interesting content that contains a lot of those experiments, as you rightly said. If they were to be looked from a different perspective, different angle, is also available, and we could certainly be happy to share with you. We'll be happy to share with a huge database and a repository of resources who've been working in this area for many years. We know Professor H.C. Verma, we know Manish Jain, we know a number of these people who've been working in this area, but we also know a lot of those unsung heroes who've, as you rightly said, in Jharkhand, an area where people were inquisitive about how they could convert the noise into electrical signals and use them. Similarly, there are many such examples where we've come across so many people. India Science, for that matter, which is the OTT channel, fortunately has been working very closely with a number of young scientists. Young scientists means students who've been working and bringing out a lot of new things. Vigyan Veer is a series, and I would now from this platform request all who are here gathered together to please go to indiascience.in and have a look at that site, and I'm sure that'll give a lot of ideas, thoughts, and if you could write us back, we would be glad to talk, and we would be happy to interact with you and see how best we can find out ways where we could come together, make things much more meaningful, much more fructiful, and then take it forward to the end users, like what our honorable prime minister says, person standing in the last queue is something that we need to reach. And for that matter, if that was to be changed for school students, we'll be happy to do that. We would like to have every student and every student in the country an aspiration, a wish that we would want to get into the vogue, understand things for that matter. And unless we make things interesting, like what Sauravji and his team has done, I think we'll certainly be able to reach and achieve that. It was a pleasure talking to all of you, and it was a pleasure meeting you, Dr. Vaishnav and Sharmanji, after a long time once again. I hope you're doing good, and please stay safe. We still are not out of the woods, so I would say it's time that we need to be very cautious about it. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. Take care. Thanks very much. Jai Hind and Jai Bharat.
Thank you, Dr. Parashar. Um, I must mention here that when we were out to create Engage with Science just about a year back, one of the questions that posed a challenge was how do we really attract the attention of students and teachers? Because after all, there's a glut of content across the board. There are a glut of platforms available, glut of educational channels that the government has set up, but the uptake percentage has been quite abysmal. And that's when we started our search for a brand ambassador who could inspire. And trust me, when we started talking to Sharman Joshi, who had already by then, driven the imagination of youngsters in the movies that he has played a role in, the kind of exuberance and enthusiasm he brings to the scene and the way he interacts with our students is something that is to be seen, to be believed. We have a brand ambassador with a difference who is extremely hands on, be it from his shooting sets or be it from his living room. Whenever, wherever we have asked him, he has obliged and he has hobnobbed with students. He has made them excited. And the number of questions that students ask has actually multiplied thanks to his presence. May we please have you with your camera on, Sharman, and if you could please address the gathering.
A very good evening to all the esteemed dignitaries, and once again, I would like to really, truly, I've said this time and again, but engage with Science, Sauravji and the team for giving me this wonderful opportunity of being the brand ambassador of this wonderful endeavor, whereby which we are, our main prime focus is to bring about a scientific temperament across the country, especially amongst the youth. And I think it's a wonderful way forward to see our country develop into a greater one, and see that all our people are happier and have a great standard of living. I think that is the way forward that science will show. I am I am I don't know how eligible I am for the job, but I am very happy to be the ambassador of this grand endeavor, and I am happy to interact with the students. Many a time, students ask me scientific questions, which I have to, of course, admit that I am not much of an expert on that. But I'm just very glad to be associated with this, and I understand the importance and the value that science brings to our life and to the overall development of our nation and thereafter the rest of the world. So yes, thank you once again for giving me this opportunity. Looking forward to being associated with you all for a long, long time.
Thank you so much, Sharman. Thank you so much for finding time. Dipali, do we switch to some questions if somebody has any?
Sure. Thank you so much to all the dignitaries and to Sharman Joshi for joining us for this event today. We also have a few people who've joined us, and if they have any questions, we'll also check our YouTube channel where we're streaming right now. If there are any questions, we'll take them up. Any questions from the group that is here with us right now, please feel free. This is our chance. We have three most influential people with us on the dais today. From Atal Innovation Mission, Dr. Chintan Vaishnav. From Vigyan Prasar, Dr. Nakul Parashar. And from our brand ambassador team and Bollywood, we have Sharman Joshi. So please go ahead and ask your questions, STEM related or about the collaboration.
So I guess questions will keep coming even after the event, and we will keep answering them from time to time. So this interactivity is going to continue. I guess if we should just thank the two directors for finding time and gracing this occasion and making this day possible. And Sharman, once again, thank you so much for finding time and motivating all of us. And we will look forward to having you with the students as you always have been, and the students really go berserk whenever you are there. So looking forward to a lot more exciting activity. Yes, sir.
Saurav, can I ask a question of Sharman now that we're all here? And there doesn't seem to be other questions. Sharman, does this mean that we have to get you a 3D printer?
I think so.
Yes, I think that'll be fun. I really look forward to adding this one more layer of topping on an already delicious pizza that Vigyan Prasar serves. Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I just want to add that this is really the start of many exciting initiatives together. As we sign this collaboration today, there will be many more opportunities where we will engage with you. We will have masterclasses. You'll have opportunities to share your content with us, and it could be hosted on the Vigyan Prasar channel. We'll also be having quiz and interactive sessions for you. And you'll also have an opportunity to interact with Sharman Joshi over the next few months and years as we do our events and initiatives. So, sure, Dr. Parashar, you wanted to add something.
Right. This gives me so much of excitement that, I can't resist myself by telling everyone that we'll be more than happy if Dr. Vaishnav is okay with it, that we would love to do a series of short films on the success stories that Atal Innovation Mission has, achieved so far, and we'll be more than happy and to bring them. And this is something that, if I recall, I joined this organization about 3 years ago, and that is when I had my first interaction with Niti Aayog. And they wanted few films to be made, but for reasons galore, we couldn't move ahead. But I think now, with Dr. Vaishnav's leadership, and I think the way we have gotten together, I find that a 13 episode series of episodes that we can bring together. And Sauravji, who's also associated with India Science, and at this juncture, a small request, which I'm sure Sharmanji won't, say no to it, would be nicer if you could help us anchor that series for Atal Innovation Mission. And that would be an icing on the cake, and we would have a nice 13 episode short films on success stories of AIM so far and the journey ahead as well, so that the world knows about and what is in store from AIM, what AI, how important it is for the country and for the students. And I will be glad to support and take it forward.
It's wonderful, sir. I would be honored. I would be honored.
Thank you so
I would
much.
truly be honored. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much for both of you. I think this would be terrific. If anybody on this call from Atal Innovation Mission knows that we have some or the other excitement because of something a student somewhere did in the country every single day. It would be wonderful to get rolling on highlighting some of them and spreading the excitement. And I think no better medium than something like Vigyan Prasar. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of today's function. We come to an end today. We'll be in touch with you as we go along with a lot of activity from both Atal Innovation Mission as well as from Vigyan Prasar. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.